I do think Xabi Alonso is an excellent coach, like one of the best of this generation of new coaches, for sure. And I think he will have a great career. I also believe that managing Real Madrid, and I put up a video early in the season, like, the challenge with Madrid and the way the club is set up, whether good coaching is what they need or somebody who is like an uncle, like a person who gets out of the way enough of the players. You know what I mean? Like coaches, but doesn't coach as much as an Ateta, for example, or an Alonso, or a Pep Guardiola, or I feel like Real Madrid needs somebody who manages personalities as well as you need to know enough about football. I'm not gonna minimize Carlo Ancelotti's knowledge of football. I think he's a smart football man. However, when I watch the smiles on these guys' faces, I don't know Alvaro Arbeloa as a coach too much. But something tells me he's not a better X's and O's or better like tactical brain than Xabi Alonso. Watching this game, the 6-1 win against Monaco. Now, Monaco, okay, quality of opponent here matters, don't get me wrong. But I've seen Madrid play against teams not as good as Monaco not do this. And so what I saw on the day was Vinicius Jr. looking like Ballon d'Or level player again, playing with a smile on his face, running to his coach after scoring the goal or one of theirs. And he assisted a lot, did a lot of really interesting things. Jude Bellingham finishes it with a 6-1 and celebrates. I just think Real Madrid is a very weird club. I don't think they're a normal club, and I say this in not in a denigrating way. I just mean that being a good coach for most clubs doesn't make you a good coach for Real Madrid. That's what I mean. I think Real Madrid, because of the celebrity nature of the way that club is run and the I want to call it player power, but I don't even think that's what it is. It's Florentino Perez who he just runs an interesting vanity project there that doesn't lends itself well to somebody who is going to try and coach the heck out of his players. I think Real Madrid players kind of almost see themselves as collaborators, which in reality, players and coaches are collaborators. But I think there are a lot of coaches where in the modern day, sorry, in the modern game, like I think the game has become so coach centered. It's like this is what I do. You have to fit into it. This player's like, I see it with all like a lot of these guys who have hardly achieved anything in the game, like Enzo Maresca kicking people out of the team. Mikel Arteta also like initially was like guilty of some of these things. Now he's proven to be right, to have wanted to do that. But I think a club like Arsenal maybe is more suited for that kind of a coach who is the alpha among alphas, right? Like the alpha of all alphas. Whereas maybe if you are like working at a Madrid, you need to understand like, yo, these kids are just as impactful and they have a bigger following than you and they have a bigger say to the people upstairs. It would appear because there's more of them to let go than there is of you, as a coach and coaching staff. I'm glad I'm not a Real Madrid fan. They can win as all the things they win, and that's fine. And I'm not gonna talk smack about. But I just think it's a very interesting thing to see there. Like you can see that these kids now are back in an environment that they want. You know what I mean? That they want to be part of this now when they playing with their tails up. And who knows? We'll see what it does for them in the knockout rounds. But they're sitting third on the table of the Champions League, and yeah, it looks to me like they're odds on to finish top eight. Let me see who they have in their next game. But like Madrid, sitting in third position on 15 points. Yeah, I think a draw will get them in because of their decent goal difference, especially with this last game.